Welcome to this special coverage of the Women's T20 World Cup 2023 only on NewsX. We are building up to the mega clash between the Indian team and Pakistan tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. in Cape Town. The breaking news that is coming in is that it has been confirmed by coach Hrishikesh Kanitkar that Indian star opener and vice captain Smriti Mandhana is set to miss the match due to a finger injury. But there is also good news, as Captain Harmanpreet Kaur has been deemed fit and is gearing to go. India leads the head-to-head against Pakistan in the T20s with a record of 10-3. We will bring you every update through my colleague Sunil Yashkalra, who's joining us from Cape Town at this point in time. Sunil, I can see you with the Table Mountain background in Cape Town. It's a beautiful sight, but is there a cause of concern since we're going to be missing out on Smriti Mandhana?
Well, absolutely, Vineet. Yeah, two things are right. One is Table View Mountain at the back, and second is there is a concern for Smriti Mandhana for two reasons. Because she's not only India's best striker of the ball in the world cricket today, but also she brings in the level of seniority to the game, the certain sense of calmness to the team, and gets it going, considering that we have few youngsters playing in the Indian side. So yes, there is a little cause of concern for the Indian squad there, Vineet.
Right. Sunil, also, we need to understand that India is pivoted at a very cushy spot over here. Our record against Pakistan has been stellar, and we are coming into this match after drubbing Bangladesh by 52 runs, whereas Pakistan is coming into this match, after a few losses, though they may be warm-up games.
Well, absolutely, and that is what has caused a lot of problem to the Pakistani contingent here. I would like to show you the Pakistan team is actually practicing here at the Cape Town grounds right now, and they're sweating it out, and they want to get a feel of what the stadium is, the grass and the pitch, everything. We must also realize that India has played a Tri-Nation series here 15 days ahead. So they've got a head start coming into this tournament. Yes, India, despite the loss of Smriti Mandhana, has got a cushion, yes, but also anything can happen on a particular day, especially when you go in for a match and in a rain curtailed match. Currently, the rain seems isn't a threatening point here, but that is into the other part of South Africa, which is Johannesburg, where the final has been pushed by another day. So coming back here, the ground condition is good. The pitch is looking fairly decent for the batters, and considering that India is going to play at 3 o'clock local time here, 6:30 India time, I think India is all set and has a head start in this entire tournament, Vineet.
Right. Sunil, also talk about Pakistan. Alia Riaz has done well for this particular team. A couple of other new players who have also, been showing promise for Pakistan. India cannot take this battle lightly.
You rightly said it. They had defeated once to India. They had defeated India in one of the rain curtailed match, but again, Pakistan has got a new team. They've got youngsters, fairly young side right now, and they're very unpredictable. In that case, what happens beneath here is when you have an unpredictable side, young side, you can't have a matchup and a strategy going ahead into the play. All you do is wait for the batters and the batters to make mistakes and get the wickets. Now, one thing you must realize here, I was speaking to Bisma Maroof a while ago, the skipper of the Pakistan cricket team. She says the team is fairly shaping up well, but the youngsters is like a double-edged sword. They can work, but at the same time, they can also have a problem of not firing in the big time in a big crunch occasion. Vineet.
Sunil, also talk about the pitch. We know Cape Town and what kind of wickets it has produced in the past. India has borne testimony to that right from 2003 to 2009. But let's talk about the pitch at this particular time. Usually Cape Town, South Africa, I've been to that city. It does get dewy and moist, towards the sunset. Is that something which the Indian team is going to take account of? Because obviously the South Africans are going to be better at their turf when it comes to handling at least the moisture.
Well, absolutely. But the good part is India has been here for a long time, and I know what you're referring to, the 2003, the men's World Cup final, which India suddenly lost. That still hurts to a fan. But coming back into thing today, the temperature is fairly okay, 33 degree here. There's a lot of wind here, but at the same time, no humidity. But at the same time, there is a chance of getting a little cooler in the evening. But the good part is that they are playing at 3:30. So again, the dew and the moisture part doesn't necessarily come into play. But what comes into play is how Indians hit the ball on the deck and move on both sides of the crease. And that's going to be more important. India has a very formidable batting lineup, one of the most explosive. Minus Smriti Mandhana, too, India can fire at the same stage and at the same point. However, what we lack here is a true and genuine fast bowler who can hit the deck and move on either side of the wicket, Vineet.
Right, and Sunil, the hearty contest that everyone should be looking out for, once India is over and done with Pakistan, is perhaps a clash with Australia.
Well, that's the key thing, Vineet. I'm glad you raised this point. The entire euphoria around and the fan thing is about India-Pakistan clash. But the bigger match is India-Australia. And guess what? If India were to top the pool here in that, and if India were to defeat Australia and top that pool, India will get a very okayish semi-finalist. However, if India was to lose to Australia, then it becomes a problem because India will certainly be number 2 in the pool. And once you're number 2, you face the number 1 there. And that's something India has always a problem with England on the other side, who also plays their first match tomorrow at Pal, which is 45 kilometers from here. So again, India has to take this as a run-up to the Australia match and not focus all their energy towards the India-Pakistan match alone. I know there is a euphoria, there is fans, there's a lot of commercial time, tickets being sold, but again, you've got to look at the top level, which is the Australian team and the England team later on. Vineet.
Right. Sunil, let's also spare a thought for Shefali Verma. She was part of that Under-19 World Cup. She's as fierce as they come. There are going to be a lot of people who are just going to be descending on this particular ground to get a glimpse of her, because she obviously is a promise for the Indian team. And with the WPL coming around, this is perhaps a great, atmosphere to observe her.
Well, not just Shefali Verma, Richa Ghosh and Shweta Srivastav. You've got like players who are out there to go out and perform. There's a lot of buzz and talk amongst the skippers as well of the other team about the women's IPL that is going to be hosted week after the final here. But good part, Vineet, here is that India has gone really well. Now India has stamped their supremacy not only on the pitch, because you must realize that India is #1 team in the Under-19. Now it is time for them to step up the pedal and look at the T20 World Cup, which has been eluding India for some time now. So coming back, the entire enthusiasm around the brand India cricket, the brand BCCI cricket has really risen. And now the women are started to look up. And now with Shefali Verma promising prospect to get the best dollars there at the auction, we also have a couple of good talents emerging from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. We saw Harini yesterday, and the way she played was brilliant. So you've got now fresh infusion of fresh blood. At the same time, you've got some big talented senior players. So it's overall a great atmosphere and great time to play women's cricket, Vineet.
And Sunil, one last question before we let you go. The women's IPL obviously creating a lot of buzz. In your opinion, and as someone who's there to witness this on ground, what kind of traction and what kind of gravitas this has lent to this particular T20 tournament as well? Because obviously there were areas that could have benefited earlier in the past as well when it came to the women's IPL, but it's happening right now. It's done wonders to the men's team. It's likely to do wonders for the women's team as well.
Well, you've asked a very pertinent question, and let me draw two parallels here. In 2005, Indian women's actually made it to the finals, and they lost to the Australian, the eventual winners in the 50 overs game. And this ground bears the testimony of that particular the rod that India created. But again, at the same time, we've been building our blocks over a period of last decade or so since India started playing the T20 women's cricket. We must also realize this is the same ground where Indians actually have won many tournaments, including the T20 World Cup final. And after that, our IPL started. So I think there is a lot of buzz going around. Is the history going to be repeated after winning a T20 World Cup in South Africa and then following up with the IPL? Remember, IPL started subsequent to the victory of India's win here. So I think that there are telltale signs. Indian junior girls have won the tournament here in this very country.
And Sunil, two names come to mind when you talk about the ground that you're at, which is Yuvraj Singh and Stuart Broad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sunil, for joining us and giving us all that lowdown from South Africa. It's a must-watch match between Pakistan and the Indian women's team tomorrow. It's definitely something which is going to be carved out in the history of textbook cricket.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.